welcome all friends and devotees of yoga and meditation. Today is Tuesday, the 20th of October, 2015. Tuesday, the 20th of October, 2015. We'll just continue reading the Dhammapada Sutras. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, the Dhammapada Sutra is a sutra in Buddhism, just like many other sutras, but this is a small sutra that sort of summarizes the wisdom of the Buddha, or you can say it's the wisdom of the Buddha in a nutshell. It gives you a summary of all the teachings of the Buddha, a summary of all the ethical principles of the Buddha in a nutshell. That's the Dhammapada Sutra. Of course, I translated this work into English and Asian language over 10 years ago, and I'm now publishing them and teaching them at this time. So we'll be on chapter 13 today, chapter 14 today, from verse 179 to 196. 179, a man whose success is infallible, whose success no man on earth can deny him, such a Buddha, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, whose residence is both immeasurable and boundless, routeless, route-free, or without route, as ever, on what route will you take him? Verse 180, a man without ensnaring, grasping greed to stray him indefinitely, such a Buddha, omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent, whose residence is both immeasurable and boundless, routeless, route-free, or without route, as ever, on what route will you take him? Verse 181, sages and the highly learned who practice divine contemplation with diligence and achieve joy and contentment in the tranquil practice of holy living, the gods and divines cannot help eyeing them again and again, for they are enlightened Buddhas, flawless, impeccable, and ever mindful. Verse 182, conception and childbearing is stressful and strenuous, rough and tough. Existence of the living is tough. To listen to and follow the right instruction is tough. And the process of becoming a Buddha is tough. Verse 183. To refrain completely from wrongdoing, the diligent cultivation of virtue, and the absolute sanctification of one's heart and memory, the Buddhas have upheld these as fundamental. Fundamental instruction and line of action, that is. Verse 184. The utmost spiritual discipline of the ascetic is a long drawn-out endurance. A long drawn-out endurance. With great resolve, the Buddhas declare that nirvana is utmost. That is perfect peace. Nirvana means perfect peace. Perfect peace is utmost. Surely, a man who does harm to other sentient beings or living beings is no ascetic. A man is not a devotee of the Buddha, not one among the faithful, if he causes distress to other sentient or living beings. Verse 185. Not to be careless in talking and not to wrong or hurt other living beings. Self-control, following the regulations, the laws, and moral standards of the community, avoiding eating too much or too little. A distant residence, remote and aloof, and the development of the noble faculties, superior powers, that is. This is the instruction expounded by the Buddhas. Verse 186 and 187 actually together. We sort of translated them together because they are together. The flesh just can't be contented, can't relax, just can't have enough. And bags of money rained or emptied on it won't suffice. The flesh truly experiences much suffering and little delight. A sage and follower of the Buddhas, observing this, is never delighted, not even in the delights of paradise. not even in the delights of paradise. Rather, his delight is in the extirpation of hankering, the extirpation of greed. Verses 188, 189, 190, 191, 192 are all together. Naturally fearful, humans flee to sanctuary after sanctuary, great rocks and hills, overgrown bushes and jungles, gardens, holy of holies, holy sites and buildings, but such sanctuaries are neither peaceful nor safe. Not free from great dangers and troubles. By fleeing to such sanctuaries, a man is not thereby liberated from pain and distress. A man who has consulted the Buddha, the Dhamma, the law, and the teachings, and the Sangha, the community of followers regarding sanctuary, and who grasps the Four Noble Truths thoroughly with sagely divine insight, the eternal truths of suffering, the cause of suffering, the termination of suffering, and the grand eightfold route proceeding towards the final extirpation of suffering. Now, this is the safe sanctuary, the sanctuary of peace. This is the eternal, the final sanctuary. Coming to this sanctuary, one is surely liberated from all pain and distress. Verse 193. An impeccably well-bred human is surely a rare personality, not easy to see or meet. He does not become incarnate, born of the flesh, in any country or land. Freely, without discrimination, the people are blessed and surely succeed in any country, on any land where such a prophet becomes incarnate. Verse 194. The achievement of the supreme divine state of Buddha is joyful. The instruction of the genuine instruction, the pure and infallible Dharma is joyful. Harmony in the community of the faithful or the Sangha is joyful. The discipline of the disciples living in harmony, of course, is joyful. Concluding verses 195 and 196. Once a person reveres the accomplished, companions distinguished in service and deserving reverence, whether they are great followers of the Buddhas or the Buddhas themselves, already achieved beyond hindrances and gone beyond sadness and grief. Revering such distinguished companions, companions without emotions, all feelings fully controlled, fearless and peaceful, no human can predict or evaluate the magnitude of his achievements. Folks, this is the Dhammapada Sutra, chapter 14. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, again, I'll advise you to proceed to websites which I've attached to these videos. I attach them to these videos for your aid, to assist you, so that way you are able to follow these teachings and understand them. I have attached there my translations, of course, of the Dhammapada, which I did well over a decade ago, over 10 years ago. I also attached there the works of Grandmaster Ching Kong. Grandmaster Ching Kong, of course, is one of the great Chinese masters of Buddhism in our time. He's well over nearly 90 years, well over 80. He was born in 1927, and he is a professor emeritus in Australia, University of Queensland, Australia. He was knighted by the Queen. He's one of the high authorities in Australia. Very highly honored monk, Buddhist monk, Grandmaster Ching Kong. And he has these great books, which I've attached also to these videos. They are Buddhism as an Education. You'll find it attached to this video. To understand Buddhism, you also find it attached to this video. And The Art of Living. And try to watch my previous videos so that you are able to really follow this process completely. This is for your knowledge. This is for your understanding of Buddhism, folks. We really want you to be able to digest. The objective of this is to bring your mind happiness, peace, serenity, tranquility, and calm. Enjoy your Tuesday, folks. Namo Amitofo.